everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. Today we are going to talk about time travel. Time traveling. Before we get started, today I'm going to be using the Llewellyn Classic Tarot deck. And also, guys, thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you for the traffic in my BitChute channel. And also to my YouTube and Rumble channel. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you so much, guys. So, time traveling. That's a topic that was never of interest to me. Yes, I know we've seen it on movies, shows, and it's something that's been part of our vocabulary, part of our culture. But we always thought it was an entertainment purposes. Like we seen the movies Back in the Future. We seen Star Trek Voyager, where it was time traveling was a big team. We've seen again, the list is long, and again, we thought it was like a show. It was like a woo-woo concept. But come to find out that time traveling, seems to be a real thing. And the reason why I'm saying it seems to be a real thing is because I haven't used my card to check it out. And I want to use this opportunity to do that. But what makes me lean toward that topic is because of the 17th letter of the alphabet. He mentioned Project Looking Glass when he started posting on 4chan and then later on 8chan. You guys should take a look at the Project Looking Glass. Apparently Iran, was it Iran or Iraq. The reason why it was attacked was not because of mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction. It was because they discovered one such device and they wanted to get their hold on that technology. So Project Looking Glass, when you get a chance, I would invite you to take a look at it. Project Pegasus is another one. Project Philadelphia Project is another government project that talks about time traveling, and the Montauk Project as well. I mean, there's so many different project that the governments have dabbled into, and there's so many people, whistleblowers, that have shared their story that at this point it appears that it's real. So anywho, I have a list of questions. So the first question that I have is, what is time travel? So we kind of have an idea that there's different ways that you can move through time and space. However, I want to ask the cards, what would the cards define time traveling? What is time travel? So let's see how the cards want to define what is time travel. Oops. That's being a cut. What is time travel? It's time travel. I'm very curious about this. I'm gonna be cutting. First card is Five of Swords. Second card, Six of Cups, situation. Page of Wands, recent past. Three of Pentacles, present. Eight of Wands, potential outcome, strength, clarification, four of sword, clarification. Trying to put everything, refrain. Wow, it's so interesting. So the five of sword is the first card to answer the question, what is time travel? So time travel is a manipulation of time and space. So there is a group who has the knowledge, the know-how, the technology of manipulating time to allow that group to go to the past with the Six of Cups that represents situation. So Six of Cups is a nostalgia card. Uh, Six represents stability, it represents a time of being young, it represents a time of happiness, it represents. So when you see that card, it could be being related to somebody, but it also could be a nostalgia card. So it's interesting that we're talking about time travel, and this is a card that shows up. So yes, uh, time travel is basically the ability of manipulating time to go to the past, and they're able to go to the past to see the past and interact with the past based on what this card is saying. And that's so that is that's pretty interesting. That's not how the card is defining time traveling. Now in the past with that page of wand, that tells me that um, they were able to go to the past, but for only short period of times because it's the page that shows up. So maybe at first they were observers, and then little by little they were able to do more because the page of wand is fire. It's a new beginning. It's a messenger. Uh, so they were not able to do too much, and they couldn't stay too long. So they were only able to be there for a short period of time. And the reason why I say that in this particular situation, um, we didn't see the knight, we didn't see the king, we didn't see the queen, because that would have represented different degrees. So that tells me with that page that they were only able to interact with the past, with time traveling for a short period of time. Um, and they were only able to make like little changes here and there, not too many, not a lot of changes because of that page. That's what that tells me. And present with that Three of Pentacle, it tells me that maybe the technology, the traveling technology has evolved somehow. There's a physical place now, like a device that exists, that requires the collaboration of a few people to make that machine work that allows people to travel. So maybe at first it was about astral projection, um, or being a strong remote viewing psychic to be able to look at the past and interact with the past. But right now, with that pentacle, because pentacle is uh, substantial, is real, is tangible. Pentacle is earth, so earth means it means that it exists, that there is a device that you get into that allows you, kind of like maybe a doorway or a device itself that you go into that allows you to travel to time and space. So this machine right now, at this moment in time, in this present time, it exists, and it requires the collaboration of different type of people. So I wonder, is it uh, collaboration from other uh, people from other realm, from other planets, but it requires a collaboration of sort from different group of people to make this work. And that device or that machine or that portal, whatever you want to call it, allows people to physically travel from one location to the other. And but here's where it gets interesting with the clarification. The strength card shows up, so that not anybody is able to travel, to time travel, because it requires that person needs to have to be strong somehow, either mentally or physically or all of the above. You have to be a strong person, because with that Four of Sword, for some reason, the process of traveling through time takes a toll on the body, because Four of Sword usually means a person that's in retreat, that's being who convalescence, somebody who was sick and is taking time to get better. So it could be a card of deep meditation, but in this particular situation, what's coming strongly is that when a person is physically traveling time, or time traveling, it takes a toll. You have to be strong of body, spirit, all of the above, in order to make the journey and back. And that, with that Four of Swords, that tells me that it takes a big toll on the body, on the soul. Wow. So that's interesting. Now that we established what time travel is about, my next question is, the next question was, is time travel possible? So this tells it, answer that question, so we can skip that. So the next question is, how would one knows that time travel took place? Okay, let's ask that question. I am intrigued, because I always had the impression that the deja vu was how one person would know that there has been some tempering with the timeline, or with time. But let's see what the card wants to say. The question is, how would one know that time travel took place? How would one know that time travel took place? So let's see what the card wants to say. How would one know? How would one know that time travel took place? How would one know that time travel took place? Okay. Knight of Cups. Answer the question. Queen of Swords. Situation. Two of Pentacles. Pass. Recent past. The Chariot. Present. Two of Swords. Potential outcome. World as clarification. And Knight of Wands as clarification. Ooh. It's a lot of different. I'm trying to put everything in frame. It's a lot here. It's a lot of different cards. I'm seeing swords. I'm seeing wands. It's all over the place. Okay. So here's what's so interesting. So the question is, how would one knows that time travel took place? In the first card that popped up is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups tells me, so the King, the Knight of Cups. All knights are movement of sort. And what moves this knight is emotional awareness, is their love or their passion, or it's as if to say that, how would you know that time travel took place? You have to be a traveler yourself, because that's a movement card. Or you have to have the spiritual awareness of the technology of some sort. And that's what this card, the Knight of Cups, is telling me, that you have to have to know about the technology, to be part of the program, and you have to be a traveler yourself to know that the time travel took place. And the Queen of Sword for the situation tells me that you have to be in the know. either in the know or part of the project, part of the group, or have a very high spiritual awareness. Because swords, thoughts, words, information, and it could be spiritual awakening as well, a knowing, some type of psychic ability that will tell you whether time has been manipulated somehow. Now, with that Two of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles is in the past. That tell and you see that the infinity sign. So as soon as I saw this card, the first thing that came to mind was Project Montauk, the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia Project, where there was some manipulation of time that took place, and for a while, some of these people were stuck in a loop. And I urge you to take a look at, to do some research about this. It's very interesting. So it looks like there were two defining moments where time was prevalent, or where time travel was a big deal. So I wonder, because my intuition is leading me to those two topics. So I wonder if that's what that was about. But it appears that those are the major two point in time where there was some time traveling going on. So I found that interesting that the card is mentioning that. So that's the past, recent past. And then the present is the Chariot. So the Chariot, you see this person is an adventurer. He's leaving comfort behind, which is the town, which is the castle. Back in those days, those represent comfort. And then he's leaving to go on an adventure, very victorious, very bold, and it's as if to tell that yes, time travel is being done right now as we speak. And it sounds to me that they have mastered the technology somehow, because it's the Chariot that shows up, and it's a major arcana. It means that, you know, they can boldly go when no one comes before, pretty much, because this is what that card represents. That's the saying that comes to mind. I mean, that's how I understand this card, that they have mastered time travel and they're able to go where they want at any point in time with that Chariot. You don't. It's a major arcana. So and it's a traveling card as well. So that's interesting. So the potential outcome is the Two of Swords. So regular folks will not have any awareness that time has been manipulated, because you see blindfolded and you see this. So whether time was manipulated one way or the other, we won't know, the general public. And the only way you would know if you're a traveler yourself, or if you're a person with high psychic or spiritual awareness. That's the only way that you would know. Your intuition will kind of tell you. So I wonder, is it the deja vu, or maybe another way? If you're a high level developed person, that's how you know. But the general public will not know. And interestingly, the world shows up. So the world means a level up, that one chapter has been completed. So if any changes were done in the timeline in the past, and we won't know any of it. That is interesting. That is the world that shows up for this card. Is to tell you things can be done and we're not even aware of what's going on. The time can be shifted, the time can change, and move for the better or for the worse, and we won't know about it with that Two of Swords. And then the other card is that the Knight of Wands. So yes, again, a Knight of Wands is another manipulation. It's a card of movement as well. So two movement cards, Cups and Wands. So usually my Wand card means military. It means, or somebody who has a training, a proper training in order to do this. So that could be either military, like all military, or it could be a group of people who is highly trained, who's able to move through time. But only the people who's part of the program, or only people who are very evolved spiritually, mentally, intellectually, that can retain the changes that were done uh, after time travel uh, has been done. Interesting. That is so cool. Okay, so we know about that. So now the last question is, who has control of the time travel technology right now? Because it is a technology. Manipulation can be done. We've seen this. And so who has control of the time travel technology right now? So I'm curious to know, because I know for a time the government had control. Good guys, bad guys. Let's see what the cards wants to say. So who has control of the time travel technology right now? Control. Okay, first card is Knight of Wands. Interesting. I'm seeing the Knight of Wands again. Eight of Swords. Situation. The Hangman. Pass. Eight of Pentacles. Present. Nine of Pentacles. Potential outcome. Queen of Wands. Clarification. Three of Pentacles. Clarification. Wow. Okay. 1 second. Let's put everything in frame. Okay, so interesting. So the Knight of Wands, that tells me that all wands or knights are movement cards. And usually when I see the Knight of Wands, it's military of sort or a group of highly trained people who had control of this device, of this technology. And so I found that interesting, but not unusual. Now with the Eight of Swords represent the situation. Eight of Swords, this lady, she's blindfolded, bound, you know, a lot of clouds, rain going on. There's two ways to look at this. That there's more to the story that we're not seeing. And also, that's one way. And the other way is that a lot of the people that had control of that technology, maybe they were bad guys. That tells me that they probably were apprehended or under house arrest or arrested or something to that effect. So there's two ways of looking at it. You know, there's more to the story that we're not aware of, or also the group that was controlling it or holding on to that technology is no longer in control, and that they have been apprehended. So it could be all of the above for this. And okay, let's go with that. The Hangman in the past. Hangman is a major arcana. And when you see a major arcana shows up, it's something that occurred and it was destined to happen. The Hangman is usually a card of patience, of seeing things differently, it could be a card of sacrifice. It could be all of the above. We ask the question, who has control of the time travel technology? And this is the card that shows up in the past. So it's as if to say, patience, the technology somehow, oh, maybe the technology, one second. So maybe the technology was under a group of people's control who did not understand it as well, or didn't really understand its true purpose. Because the hangman is about looking at things from a different perspective. Um, I think instead of using they were trying to use time travel for a reason, for something that we were not supposed to, or not the way it was intended for, or not the way the technology was intended for. Because the hangman, you see, he's upside down, and it's only once you look at things from a different perspective, then you can see the whole picture. So whoever was, maybe it took some time for whoever was in control of it to understand how this technology works. And you can only do it from another perspective. You can understand it or control it, but by looking at the world, the view from a different perspective, or it may be it operate differently than the way people originally thought it was. Okay, I know it's a weird one, but this is how spirit or the card is explaining it. Eight of Pentacle. Eight of Pentacle is that they have fine-tuned, or maybe now there's a group of people who have taken control of the time travel technology. So there is a group that actually has it in hand, and also they have fine-tuned, worked on the technology in a way that they understand it a little bit better, or they have a better grasp on it, or they've been working at it and fine-tuning and working on it and making it work to its full potential. So who has control? Ultimate um, um, uh, potential outcome. Nine of Pentacle. It means that a group of people, independent from military or whatever, is going to get control of this device. So it's not going to be government. It's not going to be military. It's going to be an independent group of people. Maybe a council. For some reason, that's the word that pops into my mind, like a council of sort, or committee, but it feels like a council somehow. That's gonna have, it's independent from everybody. They have their own rules and regulation. They're not connected to any particular group or lobbying or whatever. And these people are very passionate, because it's the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is authenticity, very strong within themselves, within their knowing, not compromising their principle, or that's the type of feeling that's coming through. They're not fanatic, not zealots, but very they take the job very seriously. And they're not going to compromise their moral, and be swayed easily. That's very secure in their knowing. So it's an independent group, very secure in their knowing. And like I said, it could be a council or committee, or a group of people working together, either to preserve the technology or to maintain the technology of sort. So wow, so it's gonna be eventually in the control of an independent group of people. Whoa, that is interesting, a lot to unpack, and pretty fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I know it's a long one, but I thought it was such an interesting topic, and I wanted to answer all those questions. If you stayed with me to the end of this video, you are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Again, feel free to share, like, subscribe. I appreciate the love, the attention, and support. And thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.